Sure.
Let's carry on. Here's Ron calling from Scarborough. Ron, what is your question for the candidates?
Hi, my question is about the gap between rich and poor. Before free trade, there was hardly any homeless people downtown where I work. Now there's lots of them. It seems it's been getting worse every year, and I'm just wondering what other candidates are do to reduce the difference between rich and poor in the country. Reduce
the gap between rich and poor. Gavin Parenchothy, what would you say to Ron about that?
Sure thing. Dan's probably not going to like this. Again, the Conservative Party has clearly stated, and the Conservative government has, not only a promise, but have implemented tax breaks. GST was brought down. Now, this makes life a little more affordable for everyone. Unlike everyone else says, its Conservative Party doesn't just cater to higher income people, it definitely caters to low income people too. Making sure life is affordable by cutting down taxes, cutting down income taxes, cutting down corporate taxes, cutting down GST and all kinds of other taxes. It makes life more affordable, and definitely closes the gap between low-income people and higher-income people.
Dan Harris, closing the gap between rich and poor.
Well, I obviously disagree, because we continue to have these corporate tax cuts and the gap keeps widening. And that's because we're putting more money into the hands of fewer people. Gavin talks about reducing the GST, but right in the middle of the recession, the Conservatives introduced the HST, which is a retail increase, and started taxing more things than the GST taxed before, like home heating. And then, of course, there's a number of different issues, and we keep having these problems crop up. But certainly,
well, that's the problem end of it.
Sorry.
You realize
that Ron
wants to know what some of the ways you would, reduce the gap.
Well, it's reducing the gap by actually providing better services for people. It's by starting up a national housing strategy again. It's by instituting a national child care program to lower the cost for child care. It's instituting a bulk drug buying program so that we can wield savings for businesses and individuals. Of course, the thing that Gavin won't tell you is if you're not paying taxes because you don't make enough money, then none of these tax cuts are going to help. And the very first thing the Conservatives did when they came into power was actually to raise the income tax rate on the absolute poorest people in the country.
All right, thanks very much for that. Stephen Dixon, the gap between rich and poor.
Yeah, well, Ron mentioned the free trade agreement. That was certainly something that caused that gap to widen. And that's one or two points I'd like to make. The Green Party would like to renegotiate trade agreements in order for Canada to get its sovereignty back. In many ways, we have lost the control to be able to help people improve their lives as a government because of these types of international agreements. Now, what does the Green Party want to do? The Green Party wants to improve health care, so it addresses all aspects of well-being. The Green Party wants to establish a national child care program that would include things like supporting workplace child care spaces, having child care to be accessible to everybody, and so that everybody, people with young children, people with babies and so on, they can work, they can have their children close to them and so on. The Green Party wants to have a national post-secondary education strategy as well. All of these things, when you have a healthy population, when you have a well-educated population, and when you have a population that is able to work and be with, but at the same time be close to their families, their workplaces close to be included in that cost. We need to cut completely subsidies to oil and to nuclear. And finally, a healthier, more balanced life, people with a healthier, balanced work and family.